we need to close doors?
No,
we got one more.
No, not yet,
It's-
one more.
Yeah, it's still under new business.
Consideration of action, creation of questionnaire to recruit volunteers to inquire with local business about their needs and suggestions. Mr. Rodriguez?
This is, Mr. Edrak asked me to put this on the agenda, so I will go ahead and direct Mr. Edrak to provide you with some information pertaining to this.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, sir.
The reason I came up with this was, and I brought it to Mr. Rodriguez, was that as I talked to some of the business people, they feel like they get neglected, you know, that they're being forgotten or something. And I come up with the idea, I said, maybe we come out and visit these people, as volunteers, to say what they look for, what are their needs are to increase their business and so on, and prepare, you know, work out something so we can prepare a questionnaire ahead of time. And then we bring the question to them into this thing. And if it's anything, I'm willing to volunteer to provide for them training or suggestion of what they need to do to increase their business and so on. I noticed that some of them are in business, but they lack the knowledge of how to do accounting, how to make proposals, how to project, especially in restaurants. Some of them base their prices on, well, whatever it costs me, I double it. Well, not exactly it's always like that, because there are all those expenses involved. When I ask them about the inventory, how they control inventory, they don't have no idea. So when you get a delivery, do you check at the door where they come in, or you take it for granted that when they deliver, that's what it is? And they're just taking it for granted that what they deliver, that's what it is. So if they buy chicken or whatever comes in, well, it weighs so much, they don't weigh it. He said, you need to weigh it because you don't know it's a provider. It might be sending you, you order so many pounds of it because that's what they're going to charge you for, and that equals maybe 20 chickens, whole chickens, you know, but in reality the chicken weighs less than that, and that's what you're paying for. And they're supposed to do all those things, and then they're concerned. What really happened is that they find themselves like they don't make enough money to cover the cost of operation, but some of those things are part of it.
Excuse me, may I ask a question? And the customers and you think that this is the EDC's responsibility to provide that type of training for the businesses?
No, I'm saying I volunteer myself to do it. But I say
But you're
the
representing the
questionnaire
board,
part-
but you're representing the board.
Well, in regard to visit with them and see what we can do to help them, you know. If
Can you
it's
give us
done,
a-
was fine, you
Can
know.
you give us an example or more examples of what they stated their needs were?
Well, we.
Because I question two things, you know, what are their needs, and secondly, is this our, as a board, our responsibility? I know you said you volunteered, but is this really?
I think that's
Because you're
something-
part of the board, so you're representing us.
I think that's something I put in there, a workshop. We will have a workshop soon, and we can set that as part of our goals. I think this is a great workshop item. We work through and say, okay, we're gonna start a program like this. Are we gonna work with not just volunteers and
one.
businesses, but are we gonna work with the
Yeah.
UTSA Small Business Bureau,
Sure.
come in and provide trainings and grant writing and, you know, loan writing and stuff.
Right.
So I think there's more to this than just going around and creating like a recruiting volunteers to talk to businesses. I think it can be a neat little program if we work through it in a workshop and create it.
And again, is this within the scope of our responsibility? That's all I'm asking, because I'm not sure.
And I know the chamber was doing something like this also at one point.
Yeah.
Johnny, didn't we have UTSA coming out here or us going to them?
They would do like small business loan seminars, they do.
Training.
It would have been your predecessor that was here, but what you're referring to is what you call incubator programs. And these incubator programs are EDC incentives to give educational components to existing businesses on sales tax education, permits, you know, operating a budget, capitalization on revenues
But
and things
I
like
thought we
that.
had a visit from UTSA professor or whatever he was,
No.
like on a monthly basis or quarterly basis.
No,
I
we
thought
get a
did.
brochure on classes, which I've distributed to all, as many I had to all the businesses as many as I could with what I had to the community. And that's where the classes are at.
I think Mr. Gonzalez is correct. There was a small business development seminar.
We have lunch. You would come and have, you would lunch and learn.
But it was a
That was
regular
before
occurrence.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Correct. It would have had to been before.
It was UTSA.
What they're doing now, Mr. President, is they're actually, they have brochures they send us. These brochures, I think Ms. Turner has one because I think Ms. either Riley or Ms. Helen from the department gave it to her. I gave it to her when I saw her and I was visiting one of the restaurants. And in it, it tells you, it gives you like sales tax, it'll give you education on opening a business, permits, how to run a business, accounting principles. And they have different classes. Some are free and then some are paid for.
I think that's just something you work through, just so, like, I think it's a great idea. And that way we go as not just your individual, but we set some time, so, okay, we're gonna go in groups of 2. And the whole board goes out and gets so many businesses and we, like a united front, not just, you know, and work through it to promote it.
Yeah, just bring in an idea.
No, I think it's a great idea. I think if you, I just think it, I think on a morning or whenever we have our workshops, we have a little more time to spend on it
Sure.
and do it right. I think that's,
Details.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I,
What was the result when we had workshops before?
Well,
Did
last-
people come?
no, we had our own workshop.
Okay.
Remember when we were at the event center?
Yes, but did they, yes.
Yeah, that
No,
was
I'm
a
I'm
one-time
talking
deal.
about customers coming to workshops.
Oh, I don't think we've ever
Like
had.
a lunch and learn type?
Oh, the lunch and
Yes,
learn?
yes.
I never.
Mr. Edrock, since you're more familiar with what you've been hearing from the residents or the business owners, maybe there's certain topics that we can talk about and Mr. Rodriguez can plan
A survey, you can go out and pick topics.
Right.
some type of workshop or something.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the board would be okay with that. right?
And I think getting, you know, the chamber, because they have the access to like all the members
Right.
in the city of Fort Worth.
Can we do a future items for that, I mean, for later on?
Yeah.
Workshops?
You think it's something we can start right now, or can you do it during a
No,
workshop?
it's just open, you know.
Put it on the,
To make improvement and
Yeah.
for the betterment of the city and the business people.
So can we make a motion on this one here to go ahead and leave that for the workshop?
And have it on
work out
as
the
agenda item.
details? Yeah, have.
Sure, okay, is that your motion?
I
And
second
then kind of,
he
yeah,
seconds,
go ahead, be the,
Freddie,
go ahead, be the lead on this.
Okay, repeat the motion again, Mr. Gonzalez?
I move that we go ahead and table this, but put it on a future agenda workshop.
Get that.
I mean, the wording is probably not correct, but anyway, you know what I
agenda item. Put it as an agenda item on the next workshop.
mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
You know what I meant.
you know what I mean, you know, people that,
We know what you mean.
good,
Okay.
next one.
Do we have a second?
This week, second, all in favor of the motion to table, say, raise your hand.
And
I keep on forgetting that. Request by
again, to be
Mr.
correct,
6-0.
Okay.
to be correct, Danny, in the minutes, and put this on a future workshop as an item to be addressed.
Okay, got it. All right.
Be correct.
Item 4A, the FEDC will convene an executive session pursuant to section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code. Personal matters to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public office or employee. The executive director's request for contract amendment regarding request to waive relocation requirement due to family hardship.
Mr. President, I move that, not move, I rather I request as the individual on this item to do it in an open session. I would not want to go into a closed session.
So noted. Would you go ahead make any
Well, I think the
comments?
letter is self-explanatory. As we discussed earlier, you have charged me with giving instructions to our attorney to gather a legal opinion on what it takes and what is necessary in order to move forward with this particular item. Unless you want me to reassess and restate the reasons why. Mr. Guyona was not here. No, you were here in the crowd. You were in the attendance. And so basically, what I'd like for you to consider is removing that amendment so that I don't have to move to the city of Floresville. I can still keep my family intact and I don't have to maintain 2 households and invest into a home or another investment into Floresville, and my salary does not support that, and the hardship that I have is the most prominent reason why. And then I have other reasons, and I will bring to your attention once I determine where you stand on this. And I need to know, and this is why I did not want to delay the item any further. I'm one of those type of individuals. I'm not shying away from anything. I bring it up to your attention right away. And if it's your decision, then I will take whatever necessary action that I have to take to decide what I'm going to do based on your decision.
I don't understand the necessary action comment.
The necessary action means I can decide to stay or not stay, and any other action that I decide to take. So to exercise my rights as an employee, as an individual. I am due a certain amount of rights that I have. So I would hope that you would appreciate that I'm taking the time and I am addressing this rather than wait till the very last minute. This way, the decision, whatever it is that you have plenty of time, and you've had 30 days since you asked me to go ahead and wanted to table this and agree to table it, and I said yes. But I think it's important for me to know as soon as possible so that I can make the necessary arrangements and decisions that I have to make as well.
So we have discussion? If there's no discussion, let's entertain a motion. To request for contract amendment regarding request to waive relocation requirement due to family hardship.
And if I may, for the record, please give you something to think about as well. And I prayed awfully hard about this because it has been on my mind and I did not know how to address this. One of the very last things I want to do is hurt this city. I've grown to really like it. I love it. I like the people that I've met. I have enjoyed going to business. What I have not liked is the politics of this community. And it has reared its ugly head in the form in which I have been threatened by a standing council member with removal of my position because I have taken the honest approach to look into finances, questions that were given to me and provided to me that said that there was some mishandling of funds, that there was some fiduciary alleged responsibilities that were not conducted appropriately in this particular organization. And as I looked and did my job as your executive director to be transparent, I encountered resistance. I encountered problems with department heads and with people here. And I brought it to your attention, and I have brought it to the attention of several members of this board privately, because I did not want to go public with this. Because the last thing I wanted to do was hurt this community. But there is so much circumventing of the process. There is so much things that are going on here that the public needs to know about. Because how can you expect me? And I was so happy when I got this job. I was so excited about it. And I was ready to go, and I started working very hard for you. And I put all my all into it, my heart and soul, into trying to get this organization back on its track from where it was left off.
Johnny, can we just stay to the agenda and talk about
Well, this is part of the agenda. It's relevant. It's very relevant. Because, and I'm going to get to it right now. The situation is this. How can you expect me to seriously consider investing into our home here in Floresville, into another financial hardship or financial endeavor, when at every given time it's already been told to me that we can get rid of you and we can get rid of the board that oversees me? Those were direct threats by Mr. Juan Ortiz on the city council.
Mr. Attorney, can,
It's relevant. It's relevant.
But it's not part of the request.
But the request is because of the hardship, but I'm trying to substantiate to
But it
you
was
as
not
to
just,
why.
it was the FIC boundaries, correct? Not City of Floresville, but it was the boundaries?
No, it was
it
moving to
boundary?
Floresville, period, that I cannot, I have to stay at
I'm gonna go
home.
back and let's get back to the discussion regarding
Wasn't the city, it was
the
the
amendment.
boundary.
Yeah.
The amendment is, Mr. Rodriguez is requesting a contract amendment regarding his relocation to Floresville or the FISD. Is there any discussion on that?
As far as the contract goes, it's a contract and it's amended by the people, a majority of the council has to. Basically, they all have to agree.
Right.
Of the entire council.
And it's like Miss from Denton, Nevada, which you'll be discussing. Look, I don't wanna be somewhere I'm not wanted, okay? If you want me, then you make your decision. If you don't, all I just need to know is that. Just let me know. That's all I'm asking, just let me know.
I
You
don't think
want
it's
me.
so much of not wanting you. I think, we talked about earlier, Fred had asked, you know, and we don't I don't understand the whole concern either, is, he asked for the extension, would an extension work? And you were like, at that meeting, you were like, no, it's not gonna change it, it's not gonna change it. I wasn't part of some of the hiring processes, but I hear you stating now that you wanna sustain 2 households. And,
Well, now, at the present time, earlier, I was ready to move.
okay,
Can we
Okay.
just make the
Yeah,
motion
let's,
and not get out of
okay.
let's get back to,
bounds?
I'm gonna again, ask for a motion to amend the contract.
No.
Well, the affirmative, the action item is to amend it.
To remove language
Yeah, the
of
request is
having to move here.
If that's okay.
So it's either to accept or deny? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
I have no choice.
I think
said-
No, I'm asking
Oh,
the
Mr.
president,
I'm
sir.
sorry.
You don't
I
make
believe the
motion,
action
guys.
item is a request for amendment.
So do you have a motion to?
The motion
to
should
accept
be,
that, to agree
correct me
with
if I'm
that?
wrong, Mr. Attorney, but I think the motion should be, I move to amend the contract.
I move,
To amend.
But wait, no one.
if you just don't make
Then
it.
the contract.
Then you just don't make a motion.
Yes, just, guys, for lack of making a motion.
When you put it up to a vote, then it's gotta have.
That's it. You just
It's
vote
gotta
on it.
have four votes to pass.
Is there a motion? Okay, therefore, without any action by the board, the contract remains intact without any amendments. Is that correct, Mr. Attorney?
It's for lack of a motion.
Is there any other discussion on this item?
May I ask the reason why? That you will not vote to amend it? What is the foundation and the substance for you wanting me to move here? When all other employees in the city that live outside of Floresville,
I don't think we talked with these.
I'm asking you
I
a
think-
We
question.
can't talk
For
about
some,
that.
for something like that, I think we can
No.
go into, as a board, I think we can go into closed session if we,
Yeah, if you wanna,
But it's my item,
no,
so I wanna keep it in
that's why
open
I'm gonna make
session.
this recommendation to the board, I'm not an attorney, but when you're calling out council people and threatening them, and it could go.
I'm not threatening.
No.
I reported it to Mr.
understand, But
Tejada,
I say, one way or other, if this could future litigation, I'm not talking.
and it's my
That's my
understanding alleged that Mr. Tejada sent Mr. Ortiz to do that to me. And then I have a document from
I
you as
think we need
well.
to stop this conversation.
Yeah.
We've
No, I
already-
think it needs to be disclosed.
The
Just don't
vote,
talk.
the motion is already, I mean, there's no motion, so that's it.
could we confer with our attorney?
What do we do now?
I'll
Well, next
definitely
month,
already conferred with mine.
Okay, I say move on next time.
It falls, it was for lack of a motion.
So everything remains the same. And do you understand, we're not talking Floresville per se, it's a school
District boundary.
district.
Yeah, but I guess you don't understand what I mentioned to you the other day, was that I can, my wife is not going to move. She can't move because she has to take care of her father.
Let's
And
move
he has
on,
to go.
either we go into closed session and review this with our attorney, or we go to the next item. What is the wishes of the board?
So we'll go to closed session, go to the next item.
What are they, closed session with the attorney? Oh,
So that doesn't terminate me, it just says I can't move, yeah.
Just keep you where you are.
Right.
okay, item 4B. The board will convene an executive session pursuant to 551.074 of the Texas Government Code, personal matters to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer, to terminate, discontinue use of legal services.
Can we do that in open session, just a motion, that's all it
Just a
takes?
motion.
Yep,
I mean, there's no need to go into executive session, right?
yep.
Okay.
And what we're doing here is just actually putting to bed something that still seems to be open,
Yep.
because we've already taken care of our needs. But anyway, I move, if I may, to terminate and discontinue use of legal services with Denton Navarro, Rocha Bernal, and Zeke PC.
I second it.
All in favor of the motion to discontinue with the law firm of Dento Navarro, raise your hand. All opposed, 6-0.
Now we have this.
Now we got-
No question on those.
Okay, next
What time
item.
did you go in, 8:27?
We did open session.
Yeah,
We didn't.
yeah, you didn't.
Yeah, we kept it open.
Item C, the FEDC will convene in the executive session pursuant to section 551.072 of the Texas Government Code to deliberate issues to the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, lot 1 of the Lone Oak subdivision of the city of Floresville, Wilson County, Texas, as shown on plat, volume 11, page 10 of the plat records of Wilson County. Mr. Attorney, should we go into closed session for this?
Executive session item.
I move that we convene in executive session pursuant
Motion by
to
Gonzalez,
Section 551.072 of the Texas Government Code to deliberate issues to the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, lot 1 of the Lone Oak subdivision of the city of Floresville, Wilson County, as shown on plat recorded volume 11, page 10 of the plat records of Wilson County, Texas.
I'll second that.
all in favor? 6-0.
Executive session right now. What's the time?
They work
At 8:29.
We go to the other conference room or what?
No, you're fine, here, close the door.
No, you